Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis. And guys, we made it. Episode 19 of the Challenge 38. We finally have our winners. And we have Michelle here to talk about it. How are you feeling, Michelle? Overall thoughts on the button of the season.
Sorry, I'm just still trying to collect my thoughts a little bit, but yeah, I'm more upset than I thought I would be, even though this is exactly the outcome that I predicted, but I didn't think it was going to happen in this way. And I would say my overall thoughts are that I think it was a pretty cool final. There's some elements I really like, some elements I didn't like, but overall I was like into it. But what I don't like is which happens most of the time, is where there's no, oh no, will they, won't they at the end. It's always very obvious who is winning when things like what happened. And like, that's just very disappointing for me, because I'd rather it be like everyone fought and got to the end and like these people ended up winning, as opposed to like, this horrible thing happened to these people, and then this injury happened to this person, and then they fucked this up, and then there was no chance. Like, to me, that's less exciting of a season. It's more sad in a different way, because if I put myself in that position, it's like, if I had just made these two different decisions, who knows? As opposed to, I fought my hardest, I didn't win, okay. Like, I don't know. I'm left feeling like something's missing. That said, I'm very happy for them, and they do deserve that win, and Tori and Devin epitomize ride or dies out of the cast. They have had each other's back more than anyone. You can't deny that. So.
And Matthew is also here after having a 2-week hiatus from us. So we're going to get his thoughts about the whole final and tonight's episode. Matthew, what's up? We've missed you.
Yeah, I missed you guys too. My thoughts are, in my opinion, this was the least that I've ever enjoyed a final, that I can recall at least. It's a 3-part final that's 100 hours, but 90 of the hours are them just chilling at campsite or sleeping, where it's at one point tonight, they said there was 82 hours. They were 82 hours in.
And 3 hours
and then
left.
The next segment, they're at 97 hours. And they're essentially just doing an elimination to determine the winner. Like, well, what have we been watching for the last 3 weeks? Like, why is this dragging out? Once Olivia and Horacio left the game, it sucked all the fun out of the final for me, where it was just 3 teams that were so clearly working together. And I mean, obviously we saw at the end that Devin and Tori gave money to the other teams left. I'm sure that was the plan all along. And I mean, the one wrinkle in the plan was that Olivia and Horacio were brought out at the end, which I'm sure was a surprise to them. So that was the only positive that I felt throughout the last 3 weeks, where it was like, okay, well, at least Olivia and Horacio are healthy enough that they can show up and collect $38K each, because otherwise they were just going to split that money to Bananas, Nani, Anissa, and Jordan. And my one worry with this is now Devin and Tori are just extremely well set up for next season, because now Olivia and Horacio owe them something. So, I mean, overall, I'm not very happy with this final. I thought it was pretty weak. And I mean, hyping up this 100-hour final for it to not really be any different than any other final we've ever seen was just like a complete marketing tactic that I did not enjoy as well.
I definitely hear both of your points. Absolutely. So as a final, I didn't particularly enjoy this final. I didn't feel, like you said, Michelle, that it was a nail biter at the end. Kind of, we're always like, well, how are they going to, is it going to be points? Is it going to be time? Like, how are they going to be determining the winner here? Are they running a race? We never knew what was happening. And that took away from the enjoyment of it being a final, because there's no stakes really. It's like, well, they're just doing these tasks and we're watching them. But that's being said, I did enjoy watching them do these different tasks. essentially, but I didn't feel like the excitement, like this is like the World Series event or the Olympics, like everything's coming. Like I just didn't feel that like pressure, and like because we just didn't know what was going to be happening next. We didn't know that they're going to be doing a couple of different eliminations. We didn't know what their advantages were going to be for getting somewhere, so it didn't matter to me. We're just like, well, we'll just wait and see what happens. Okay, they get a 10-minute head start. Okay, they can determine the order. Fine. Like it just didn't really, it didn't bring any sort of anticipation or excitement for me. So I found that it fell flat, and this ending fell flat. We've been looking forward to seeing like, what are they going to be doing at night? These cornfields, your background colors is going to be all over the screen. And it kind of wasn't great. Like you couldn't tell really how far people were from getting to TJ in the maze, and okay, so then Tori and Devin get there first. Cool.
What if, like, I was assuming it was going to be, okay, you go through almost like, don't want to say Harry Potter, but like, you know, they like the Triwizard Tournament, they get to a place, okay, here's a mini puzzle. Complete that. That opens that door to continue through the maze this way. Okay, now there's like a weird word thing. Gotta finish that. And like, do you know what I mean? Like, give me a couple things, which I think Tori and Devin would have still won. Like, I'm not saying they wouldn't have, but like, it would have made it more exciting for me. And I agree. Like, I wish they had given them like us more information throughout. I don't know. Yeah. It's 4 days, so they couldn't have them stay up all night. Part of the 2-day final craziness is that you don't get to fucking sleep, or you're like one person standing on a pole where you sleep for 20 minutes and then you swap, like, and you're like so fucked. Like, that's kind of what the final is. Not like you can sleep every night.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a final to me at all.
The thing that really kind of irked me was throughout the last 3 weeks, we saw numerous times, and Michelle, to your point, I mean, I think we're really lucky that Tori and Devin ended up winning this, because they essentially were winning the entire time.
Yeah,
but
fair.
It could have easily been a situation where like Anissa and Jordan win balls in, and then they win that final elimination. And it's like, okay, anyone really could have won that. And Anissa and Jordan, who were at some point hours behind Tori and Devin, could have theoretically won that final just because they won an elimination at the end. But the thing that really irked me was numerous times throughout the last 3 weeks, we would see Tori and Devin finish a leg of the final when it was still light out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Anissa and Jordan are coming when the sun is setting. And then it's like going into sleep. So, I mean, Tori and Devin could have been kind of resting there for hours and hours. And then Jordan and Anissa were given essentially the same chance to win when they did not deserve really any chance to win, which I think is just a huge flaw in the format of this final. And I am ultimately glad that the team that performed the best ended up winning.
Mm-hmm.
But it really would have been a shitstorm if that did not happen, I think.
I will say the most nail-biting part for me was, are Anissa and Jordan going to beat them in a balls in? And then they have to do this ending, whatever the hell this is going to be. Like, this is crazy. Like, I was like, this cannot happen. Like, it was so painful to witness the entire thing. The thing, like with Anissa at the end there, that was painful. With the obviously the very end was painful. With Olivia, double painful. Like, there were so many moments that were just like actually hard to watch because it didn't seem safe or good for their well-being as people. Like, I was just like, I can't handle this.
Yeah, I totally agree that it just wasn't a final to me. And I also kind of got spoiled. Well, not kind of, I did. Even though it looked as though the Tori and Devin were going to win, it was something that was muted, and a comment on somebody's post that was muted, it popped up, and it was responding saying something like, oh, well, you don't have to worry about it. No, it was on Facebook. It was like a group. And the person said like something about like Devin and Tori did this, and like, don't worry, Devin and Tori are winning this season anyways, or something like that. I'm like, really? You need to put that into the comment of something that wasn't specific about who was winning the season? They were talking about like the edit or something like that, and I was like, not that it didn't seem like they were kind of going to win, but there was still a little bit like maybe not. Who knows how this is going to end? And then I was like, okay, so now I know that they're going to win. And then when you, Matthew, you showed me like the global poster, and I was like, oh, Tori's right there, right front at the top. I'm like, okay, so that's.
I also thought that was a spoiler. Like, I understand there's people on this global thing that didn't just win or whatever, but like. And like Justine's on it, for example. So like obviously it's not just that, but like the CBS challenge is kind of not really the same as other ones because they've only had one season and nobody finished it except for, in my opinion, one person. So like they gotta add a couple extras. Whereas when I saw Tori right there, I was like, of course. They were so chill throughout their confessionals. The confessionals also, they need to do a better job with the editing with that because it was so obvious how upset Nani was and Johnny like throughout. Like I was like, they are very upset.
Definitely they were upset. Now like a lot of people think that we like don't like Devin and Tori, and it's not just like I'm just not that involved in their journey so far because we haven't been with them as long as we have with Bananas and Nani. But I'd have to say that at the end, I was really upset for Nani, and wasn't that. I was like, they deserved the win, absolutely, but I wasn't like, yes, you got. Like, I didn't have any of that I know that I would have had if Nani had finally overcome something that she's been working on for like over a decade, and so. It was that it really broke my heart that they messed up so badly in that last puzzle that they couldn't even catch up. Like it was too pointless for them to catch up. I don't know if I like that either, that they didn't, it wasn't like you said, Michelle, a nail biter at the end. Like I would have loved for them to both have finished the puzzle and then they're both going through that thing and it's like seconds away and who's going to ring their lever. Like that would have been at least a little bit more compelling. But here they're being like, well, it's going to take us an hour to take this down, like I might as well save my back.
Exactly. It was
So conspiracy theorists say that the producers rigged this for Devin and Tori to win. What are your thoughts on it being a final that is definitely in their wheelhouse?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was rigged in their favor. The same could be said for many finals for many different types of people. Yeah, there were more things, I guess, that were puzzly, which is in Devin's wheelhouse. But that said, like, I don't know. I mean, there's always a lot of puzzles. Well, not always, but puzzles and things like that are kind of a staple. If anything, the fact that there was less strength things than normal. They weren't carrying 20, 40, 50, whatever pounds on their back the whole time, or like, have to ride bikes in tandem, no
kayaking, no other
boat,
things,
no water. Yeah, if there had been that, they would have been further behind for sure. I think.
Like it was like things with targets, but Devin has proven to be very good at. So there's two target things that I can think of off the top of my head, like a gazillion puzzles, but no math puzzle. I mean, not that Bananas and Nani would be good at the math puzzles, but like it just seemed that Devin and Tori were very good at pretty much all the stages of the final. And it was just like some running in between, and they were the only team that wasn't injured either, which is interesting too. So some people are.
I actually think that the format of the finals, if anything, like hurts Devin and Tori, and they still managed to like overcome it. Because like if it was more of a traditional like race with checkpoints, I mean, Anissa and Jordan would have been completely dead. And the fact that Devin and Tori did like consistently like finish the legs first, with the exception of the eating parts. I think like in a normal final, like they would have just cruised. It would have been even more of a blowout. But I actually think the format helped Anissa, Jordan, and Nani more than Devin and Tori. So I definitely don't think it was rigged for them. And if it was going to be rigged for anyone, it would probably be Bananas and Nani.
Which I don't know if I think that. Like, yes, I can understand because they've been with the show longer, and Bananas is their pet, all that stuff. But like Tori is the host of the Challenge podcast. And so they kind of want to have their people to be doing well on the season. And I wouldn't be surprised if they would rather have them be a challenge champ hosting the show than just some people that have run some finals and lost, And Bananas has his own podcast that I'm sure is in competition with their official podcast. So,
yeah, I mean, I could see that, but at the same point, that is also why I think the format was like kind of designed more to help Anissa. Whereas like she had a chance up until the very end. Also, like, yes, like they do host the podcast, but I'm sure if we looked at their bank accounts and how much they're getting paid just to show up, I have a suspicion that Bananas might be getting a little bit more money than Tori and Anissa. So I think there is that too. So keep your talent happy. But again, I don't think it was rigged for anyone. I just think like the format that they elected to go with was beneficial for some of the other teams more so than Tori and Devin, in my opinion, at least.
So we have some friends joining us, of course. Winter Snowies. Okay, so Winter Snowies is saying we can now get Cara back on the main show since Tori has finally won. Do we agree or disagree? And is this a thumbs up or thumbs down?
I love the not spelling of Tori's name and spelling it incorrectly on purpose, I imagine. But I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I know there was some rumors about that. I hope we can get Cara back because I think that will disrupt the flow, like what's going on now with this like friendship alliance, the vacation alliance. So I do hope that we get Cara back on the show. I don't know if it's necessarily going to happen because some of the big names now are going to be very much against the idea of her coming back. So we'll see. I think we will see Cara soon, but I don't know if it'll be on the main show.
Why? Okay. Why? I mean, okay, I know why in a way, but it's like, think about someone like Beth, who like everyone hates whatever season she's on. Everyone always hates her. She always makes things worse. Everyone gets mad. Whatever. But it's like, I guess the difference is with Cara is that because she wins and she's got some of the highest wins for a woman on the show and she consistently does well. So it's like they hate her even more. And it's honestly, there's some comparisons to be made with someone like Amber B as well. It's like people just hate women, especially if they're winning and then they're annoying and then there's other things. They're like, well, we hate you even more because you're actually succeeding. I'm ready for Cara to be back, okay?
I'm fine with that.
I'm ready for her to be back. I'm not like craving it. Like, you know what I mean? This is not Evelyn. This is not like, I'm not like, I need this, but I'm like, I'm happy for her to be back. Let's have some more competitive women thrown in there. And like, there's enough new rookies that like, maybe the rookies who are ostracized, she would team up with them because like, she's not going to have anybody and, you know, and she still does have some friends. It depends if like Cam would come back or like other people that like she's still cool with. I don't know.
I guess you have no idea who's on the Challenge All-Stars then.
Oh, I guess not. Is she on All-Stars? Oh. I haven't done my research.
Cara Maria is on All-Stars. Oh, wait, sorry. This is a spoiler if anybody doesn't want to hear who's on the All-Stars. The cast has been
Wait, so this is All-Stars 4? Not okay. Cara's on All-Stars. Okay. Who else? Laurel?
Yeah.
Both of them together. But isn't Laurel
Cam? Leroy,
but he said he would never come back.
I guess it never is.
Jenna's ex-boyfriend, Jay.
Tyree.
No.
Jasmine.
You're lying.
Jay is back.
Jay.
Yes.
Jay was on one season.
What's her name? What's her name?
That's
that
not
was with Johnny on Brooke from Naya's season. What's his name?
Avery's her name.
Avery, yeah. Avery.
Rachel.
Rachel.
One season. Okay, well, Rachel's gonna win the whole thing. Let's be real.
Veronica, Tina, some older people that I just can't remember their names right now.
Tina, oh my god. Okay, but wait.
Ayana's back.
Who?
Ayana?
Oh, yeah, right. hilarious as well. But wait a second. Jay was on one season, was a rookie, and then failed the final. Why is he an All-Stars?
No, I have a feeling they just they want him to be like an early boots, and they think it'll be funny to just have him on and like get his ass kicked.
He's apparently a firefighter now, so maybe he's jacked.
Wait, is Nicole?
Nicole, yeah.
Nicole?
The female cast is absolutely stacked.
Yes, female cast is stacked. I think we said everything.
We are not putting Nicole in the stacked category, first of all, but also Laurel is agreed. If Laurel hooks. Laurel, please. Oh, God, I hope she doesn't do anything stupid.
Maybe it's threesomes with Cara and Nicole back again.
I hope that Laurel and Cara, make up. Because fuck Nicole. Or Nicole's going to work with Cara.
I wish we had this reaction when we were doing, the draft. We should have done a blind draft with you.
Okay, someone's saying Derek. Of course, Derek's back. It's All-Star. He will always be.
Oh,
no, not that Derek. Not Cassini. Derek from Cancun.
Which Derek?
Jasmine and Johnny Derek.
Oh. Ryan? Okay, love Ryan. Ace. Okay, Ace deserves another chance. Who's Flora?
It was super, from the first season. Super old school.
Okay, the drama with these. Oh my God. Wow.
Well, I'm going to clip this reaction. Thanks, Michelle. It's good.
Wow. Sorry. Let's get back to the thing, but that's crazy. That is crazy.
So, do you agree or disagree that we're going to get a break now of Devin, Veronica, Nani, and KZ now that they've won?
No,
I think
I don't agree. I would say all four will probably be back next season. But
Victoria. They meant Veronica.
I love Winter.
Jerk.
Winter Snowies. I have the exact same thoughts in my head. I just want all these people off. I don't like any of them. They're all pissing me off. So I'm glad to see some of the comments are sharing that sentiment.
I would think, in my opinion, obviously we know that I don't want Casey back, but I could see Nani taking a season off and then coming back for 40. Because season 40 is going to be a big deal. I could see her taking, if she's smart, take next season off, keep training, get your mind ready, and then come back for 40 and then make a bigger splash. I think it would be smart if Devin and Tori, if all of them took a season off. They won't. Devin, once you taste that victory, they're going to be back.
Well, and it's their job, right?
Yeah.
They're on a TV show. They're television stars. Yes, they have to compete for money, but they're getting paid to be there. So
yeah,
what else are they going to do?
True.
So let's just talk about this final bit. I didn't really take that many notes about what was going on. It started off in the beginning with everybody having their confessionals about how they're the perfect team to win. And the team that was really, I was like, come on, Jordan, you really do not believe that you guys are a force to be reckoned with, and you guys are really don't let us get close because we'll take it. I'm like, no. Not Jordan. Did you agree with TJ when he said, all of you are savages, and I'm so proud of all of you being here?
They have all had savage moments. Does that make you a savage? I don't know. But they've all had moments throughout their careers.
Okay, fine. I just think of this season, I was like, I don't know. There hasn't been that much savagery this season, personally.
No, I mean, the six of them this season, I don't know if they've done anything savage, but yeah, I mean, in the past, definitely. But these kind of older, more mature version of them, a little bit less savagery and less entertainment, and it's more of the strong gameplay, which obviously helps get them to the end, but also puts me to sleep a little bit. So yeah, I mean, they have savage tendencies, I'd say.
So what do we think about the helicopter chalk bomb where because Bananas and Nani were able to win the eating challenge. They got to choose the order and how many chalk bombs each team was going to get. So they made they made Anissa and Jordan go first. No, they made Tori and Devin go first, right? They had 15.
Yeah.
Did they 15 or 20?
They had 20. So Anissa and Jordan had 15 because they were last.
So okay, that's why. I'm like, why did I? Okay,
then,
yes, you're right.
yeah.
You're right. And so Devin and Tori were going first. They had 20 bombs. Bananas and Nani, obviously, they were first, so they had 25. And then Anissa and Jordan had 15 bombs. And then the order was in Tori and Devin, then Anissa and Jordan, and Banani going last. So they put themselves in a perfect position to be able to kind of learn from the other two teams' mistakes. But Devin and Tori were able to smash out 10 out of the 20. Devin was really good at this one. And the winner was going to be choosing, I believe, the next order that they're going to be leaving the station. Anissa and Jordan got 6 out of 15, I believe. And did Bananas and Nani only get 5 out of 25?
Yeah.
5 of 25.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. Like, Devin is doing that thing where, like, he, it's the CT thing. And the West thing. The two of them are the only two people that it's like, think for a moment about the actual strategy behind what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which Bananas never really has that. He's just really good at stuff. But he doesn't always think through. Like, if you throw the first couple and it's not landing, okay, what am I doing wrong? I'm clearly throwing it too late. You have to throw it way early. Once Devin figured that out, they got the second half of all of theirs. Mm-hmm. The first half, they didn't get like hardly any, but they figured it out. And like, you just need to have that moment to be like, okay, let's solve this
every
and
challenge.
Do it once and do it quality over quantity, as he says. Like, but that's the thing that I've seen CT do many times. You've seen Wes do it. Like, I'm sure there's others people as well, but like, it's that thing. And in that moment, I was like, fuck, like.
Was it Devin that said you find the puzzle, like, do you find the trick in each puzzle or in each like challenge? Is that him?
Remember. I think Banana said that on his. I don't remember who said that.
I just feel like somebody recently said that every single like challenge or elimination that you do, there's always a trick. There's always a puzzle. There's always something to figure out. It could be even a different show. I can't remember right now. I know I've heard that recently. So, yeah, Devin and Tori, they get out of there first, and so they get to choose the order. So with the 10-minute head start, they're going to take that lead, putting Anissa and Jordan behind them 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes behind them, 5 minutes behind Anissa and Jordan is going to be Banani. So they're just going to be running for a bit. Now, what I did hear on Banana's podcast the last time was that they took out some of these challenges that they might have been boring. One was going to be them holding up that heavy cylinder like they did in that 3-way elimination buyback a few episodes ago. And then the other one, they had to like stay crouched small in like a picture frame or something like that. Do you think there was even more stuff that they didn't show? Because like, what did they do for this 100-hour final? Like, they didn't run for 14 hours on, you know what I mean? Like, they ran for maybe 2, and then we lost so much time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the annoying thing. I mean, the final was 3 episodes, and we don't know half of what they did, or even if they did anything. Like, what if you're gonna give us 3 episodes of a final? Let us know what they're doing. Like, we've had so much kind of fluff within the last 3 weeks where it was like, I understand the first episode was a lot about Olivia's injuries, which makes sense. But I mean, like, give us a little bit more. Like, we don't have to see them in the cars driving to the finals for a 10-minute segment in the first part of the final. Like, that was just so pointless. And the fact that is counting towards the 100 hours is also like pretty ridiculous. It's like
their sleep should not count. Their sleep should not, or like they should, like, maybe if they choose to sleep, like they can, but like, who can finish this 100-hour final first? Like that might have been a little bit more compelling. But
like having like a choice in different moments. Okay, you can sleep this night for only 3 hours, but you get this advantage.
Absolutely.
Okay, if you sleep and then you can pick, okay, let's be smart about this. Maybe night 1, we don't sleep as much, or we choose, maybe you get an allotted amount of sleep hours and you can divvy them between days before you know what each day has, so that you could be like, okay, maybe the 3rd night will need the most sleep. Let's try to divide and conquer. Like something like that, like would be so much more interesting. Like we should be like pitching to them, because so many people we have so many better ideas, I think, to just make it better.
So many better ideas. Well, and then that would just like help us with like then they could show us these other challenges that they might not have thought were interesting or compelling, but just be like they could just have a little bit like, oh, they did this and they decide to allot this much time to this puzzle or whatever, and now they're gonna sleep. You know, they could just like have a little explanation and catch us up and don't have to spend that much time on it. I definitely feel as though someone needs to revamp what they're doing on the finals. Did either of you watch? I heard that or listened to one of the producers that produces the challenge was on the challenge official podcast and talking about the whole thing. No. Did you listen to it, Matthew?
No, I didn't.
Me neither. So don't worry. But I want to hear more from them. It's like, how did Lizzie? But one thing I did hear from her though, or that someone else told me anyways, is that she kind of was blaming Olivia for getting hurt, being kind of like, oh, well, she's a rookie, so that's why she didn't do the slingshot properly. I'm just
who said that?
The producer, and like Devin kind of co-signed it a little bit. This is hearsay how I'm explaining it to you, but like, I was like, no. That was
okay. So I want to ask that producer, if I was interviewing them, I would say, are you a rookie too? Like, is this your first season ever producing it? Because you clearly didn't dot your I's and cross your T's, because you had no goggles on anybody. Even after someone broke their nose and 5 parts of their face, the next team that went and showed up, they didn't wear goggles. You gave them no protection. You explained to them nothing about what happened. The same thing could have happened again. Like, she also had another finger injury. Like, you had cameras on her. I could see the ball slipping. Like, there's so many things you could have prevented this, and you didn't do any of that. Like, okay. You told people that they could go on their own path if they wanted to, and they didn't have to run on the path. You should have said, no, they have to run on the path.
To avoid them.
To avoid things. Because what if there's a fucking snake in there and it bites someone? Like, you don't know. Like, true. You're obviously not doing your job correctly. Don't blame it on Olivia is a queen. Like, Olivia is like the best new character to come out of the season by a long shot. Like, she's great. And no, none of that was her fault at all.
I hear ya. So all of a sudden they're running, and now they have to choose a path, and it's nighttime. Okay, who knew? And now they're in a corn maze, and they have to run. They don't know where they're running or why. Bananas and Nani Devin and Tori get to some like glowing camp spot, and then Bananas and Nani show up at the same spot shortly after, seemingly. And then Anissa and Jordan were at another camp spot shortly after. Then TJ comes on some big speakers and is telling them to come and find me, and I'm going to call out who's going to leave first.
Okay, but wait, sorry. I have to interrupt, because they are running. They don't know where. They don't know what they're looking for. Nothing. They get to their little area with the colored diamonds and the little beds or whatever. And it's like, there's no signage. There's no game. There's no explanation at all. Like, it seems like they just like halfway made this project and they didn't like finish it, and then they were like, I guess we'll do this. Well, we have this elimination that we've already kind of used, so let's just change it up a bit, and we'll just eliminate whoever else at the end and just have 2 teams. Like, what?
Yeah, it's not well Steven, I have to agree with you. Hardest final ever. Yeah, they ate pasta and walked through.
I've eaten that pasta myself on a stoned night, like on a Tuesday. Like, I could eat that much bread in my sleep. Come on.
Let's get you on the challenge, Michelle.
Just that one thing. Like.
I mean, I do think that every part of this final I couldn't have done. I'm trying to think. Was there anything that was that hard?
No, not really. I mean, like, I'm sure the running, like,
that was
running
taxing.
hard, but
that sucked. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I think that like having multiple days of being sore takes its toll, all of that. But like, it's crazy that I'm saying this, but like, I missed the water. Like, all they had to do was walk through that gross shit that anybody could have done. Like, make them use a boat. Make them swim to something. Give me at least one thing, because there are people who are better at swimming. Like, just like, it's not well-rounded enough. It wasn't well-rounded enough of a final.
And I kind of like them having to climb some sort of mountain or something like that. I feel like it's kind of symbolic. And at the end, everybody feels satisfied, like they did something, that they accomplished something, that they conquered something. Having like an elimination that close to the end, and then they just do another elimination challenge to win the final, it just doesn't seem as satisfying as when you see like DM climbing the mountain. Come on, Chris, you can do it. No, and then seeing like Bananas and Camilla climbing and moving past them, and she's like crying in the snow on the side of a mountain. Like, that's the drama that I'm missing here.
That is the drama. I didn't think I would miss the mountain, but I do miss the mountain.
I want the drama.
I didn't think it was something that I needed. But I agree with you. There's something symbolic about it. It doesn't have to be an actual mountain, but some sort of like peak to the end. Like, yes. Boom, boom, boom. And I also like the finals where it's like everyone can complete it. Give me the opportunity. We can say what we want about All-Stars 1 and only having one winner and then all that bullshit. But like the fact that first All-Stars season, every one of those people that entered the final completed it. Even Jemmy, okay? There's something about it.
Yeah, and to see that I completed the final.
You know, and obviously some things are out, you know, who knew that what was going to happen to Olivia? I honestly think Olivia and Horacio could have easily finished it. They could have easily also won at Balls In and been in the end against Tori and Devin. Like, it could have happened.
They might have beat Tori and Devin, though, even getting to TJ. You never know.
Potentially, yeah. Like, there's so many factors.
Do you think if Olivia and Horacio had not been disqualified, there would have been a second elimination, or you think it would have been 3 teams at the end?
I think it would have been 3 teams.
I think that they would have. What I think they would have done is 2 versus 2. So they would have had 2 teams on one side, and whatever path you chose, okay, you're competing against that team, or depending on the order, and both teams have to compete, and then the winners of each Balls In do the final. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think that would be like super unfair to the team that is in first, though. Like, if Tori and Devin say were to end up against like Olivia and Horacio by
or maybe
chance,
you can pick.
and like
maybe you can pick if you were first. You could pick who you want to go against. I don't know.
I kind of feel like there would have been another elimination like the day before, like on the second or third day.
There's a lot of different tasks that you could have just dumped the person that didn't get there. Like, whoever sucked at the helicopter chalk drop, they're out. Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't like the fact that it's just 2 people competing at the end for the money. Me neither. It's just, we just saw like 18 eliminations. Like, I didn't need to see the final be exactly the same thing. And on top of that, having many of the similar challenges that we already saw this season and already saw in Australia. Someone's getting lazy this season. Lazy.
Also, what was that Balls In? Like, what is it just me, or was that way worse than any other Balls In we've ever seen?
I had to look
all
away.
You had to do was get in the rope. But I didn't understand. Like, you just have to get inside the rope, and then you get the point. And yet Nani still missed 2 of them when she got inside the rope.
I didn't understand.
It made no sense. What in every Balls In season thing, you have to get it in the hole. So,
maybe it's because they're both lying down, and so the ball didn't go out of bounds. It was inbounds when they fell. So, like, if Nani had fallen to the ground with the ball in her hand, she would have gotten in.
I don't know, but every time Bananas or Jordan got inside the rope, TJ just blew the whistle and said, "All right, you're inside. That's a point." Like, wait, what? I think you have to get the ball in the hole.
It made zero sense, and at that point, I was just looking away and like kind of looking, because I was like, this is gonna hurt me. to watch, and it did.
Oh my god. Okay, we're almost at balls in, but before we got there, let the games begin. Welcome to my maze. Like, he just loved playing. What's it called? What's the
like the Hunger Games.
That's not what I was thinking of, but yes, but was it Jigsaw? Is it Jigsaw that like come to like, yeah, anyways, like I just feel like he's playing that kind of role, like
Yeah.
welcome to my maze. Hour 82. Like, where did the last 20 hours go? What did they do?
Honestly, anything that we're saying, just like as a caveat for all the haters, is like none of this is any shade to Devin and Tori's win. They are champions. They are winners. Their win is as legit as other things. Like, there have been so many other wins where I've been like, that's bullshit. Like, this is not the first time something has been like this. They did perform the best. They deserve the win. We're just critiquing the final
I don't
itself.
care about, like, they can have the money. They can have the win. The final was terrible, though. Like, they deserve the win with the game that they played.
Yeah.
Like, from what we saw, there was no real monkey business or anything to scrutinize.
No.
But the actual final was pretty poor, I thought.
Yeah.
Pretty poor. All right, so when I say go, come and find me. What is happening here? Okay, so now Devin and Tori, go. And so they just start running to try to find TJ. And then Nani and Banana, go. Anissa, Jordan, go. And so they all just start running. Go ahead.
It would have been better. It would have been better if, like, TJ says, all right, come find me. And then it turns into a game of Pac-Man where TJ's running through the maze and they have to find him and like grab him. Like, like a game of Pac-Man there, or Quidditch or something, and he's the ball. That would have been much more entertaining for me. But I mean, very, like, obviously that's very cartoonish, but it felt like this was cartoonish enough as is. Where it's just like the producers are just going for like full on, like, whatever's the flashiest. And it's like
cool.
It looked cool, but like it didn't actually like take much skill. Like, it wasn't that enjoyable to watch once it actually started. It was just like, once like the lights lit up, that was cool.
Like, I mean, if they had maybe leaned into the fact that they were in the dark and made it scary or something, that would be kind of fun. If it was like, I don't know, I don't know, I'm trying to like make something interesting out of this thing, but like a haunted house where they had to do like scary tasks in the haunted house. And even if they had to do like that 3-part, like the puzzle and like knock down those different walls as part of the maze run, I think that could have been cool. And like not knowing where everybody else was, that could have been interesting. Just like, you just had to get it done because you don't know until you hear that horn be blown that someone got out of the maze. Like, that could have been pretty cool, but they had some elements that it would have worked, I think, but they just didn't execute it properly.
Even like, I think they should have scrapped the final elimination, scrapped all that random ass stuff, and had the maze be elaborate, have a couple little things throughout to get through, and then it's literally we're all waiting. Who's gonna come through that final hole first? Who's gonna get through? Is anyone here yet? Oh, we won. And then they jump up and down. And the other teams might hear the honk. Oh, fuck, like we didn't win, but we're still in the maze. So let's complete it together. Let's get out of this maze.
Yeah.
Let's have our moment. Like, that's all we needed. Give us the maze. Give us cool lighting. Don't give us all this other stuff. We didn't need that stuff. Like, balls in. That tells me that you did not think of anything else. Come on. Like, I'm sorry. It's a fun, like, I understand that eliminations are a really important part of being a really good challenger. Absolutely. Someone like Anissa, excellent at eliminations, right? But like, the final is not supposed to be like the eliminations. The final is a different skill set. And the whole point is that you train and you train and you train and you have to be well-rounded. But the final is not supposed to be just, oh, if you're good at eliminations and you just stick it out, you can win.
There's some people, like you're saying, that are good at eliminations, and some of them are better at finals. And both Nani and Bananas aren't best at eliminations. They're both better. I mean, maybe not Nani, but like better.
Well, she's gone second place like now, 3-4 times?
Yeah, no, I mean, she definitely can hold her own in a final. But chances are she's a very petite person. like she could get taken out of any of these head-to-head combat type things. Watching Balls In, I was like, she not to be rude about Anissa, but she probably weighs 100 pounds more than Nani. How is that fair to have at the final for $1 million somebody that's 100 pounds lighter? And then on top of that, now Anissa's hurt, and Nani has to take in consideration that her friend's ankle is hurt. Like, and ow, 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 and like falling to the ground. And then I'm sorry, Anissa. I like you. I do. But the false, like, I'm a badass. I don't quit. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. I was like, get out of here. You're only saying that because you know you're going to quit right now. And like, you're acting as if you're hard. And like, I was like, I cringed when she
it was so cringy. And I agree. It's like, then Nani can't get excited. She doesn't have someone she can really go in on. She knows what she has to do to beat her. Like, it was so uncomfortable. It was so, I am so mad about this, and I'm going to be mad about it for a long time. 3 times the amount that I went for normal seasons, because there were 3 fucking weeks I had to wait for this final to finish. And this is how it ends. Also, we understand that Nani went on purpose to
like,
her foot.
I don't want to have somebody's injury be something that I'm thinking about in the final for $1 million. Like, I don't want to have to be like, oh, I didn't give you the $1 million because like you rolled your ankle on the first day. Like that, she should have been taken out of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was going to be something that had to be considered.
She should have been medically DQ'd, but they couldn't, especially after Olivia leaves, because it's like, okay, damn it, we need at least 3 teams to make all this work, this stupid plan that we've created. And so they needed a 3rd team. If Olivia hadn't been injured and that hadn't happened, I bet you they would have been like, Anissa, you can't continue. Because like they didn't need them. But at this point, they needed a 3rd team to just be like a placeholder, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, oh man, how disappointing, eh? Like, anyway.
I mean, I felt so bad for Nani that she looks like she's being a jerk for like going after. So Anissa weighs 100 pounds more than her, but she has a hurt ankle. Nani's going to do whatever she can to be able to have literally a leg up on her. Like, what can she do?
Anissa could have gone for Nani's knee if she wanted to.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think part of me was like, well, if Anissa wins this, like, yeah.
Well, her knee happened after. I think she does get surgery on her knee. I think she does tear her ACL. I don't know if it was in the final or if it was after the fact. But, like, girl needs to just shed some weight. That's going to be a lot more helpful on your joints and bones, and train and straighten the muscles around her joints and like knees and hips and ankles. Like,
because I know. Go ahead. I know that she trains as in, like, I know she works out, and I've seen, it's not like she does nothing, but yeah, you need to take extra care in the position that she's in. The more weight is going to be harder on the joints, as you said. And like, she should have wrapped up her ankle before the final ever started, because it's been an issue for her before.
Absolutely.
Let's be preventative about this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm. I mean, like most people that are injured, like say you see a gymnast, you see her ankles taped up if she has a previous injury, and she will still compete on her hurt ankle, but it is taped up. So I'm not sure why she came onto the Challenge 38 without taping up her ankle regularly, especially if it's a reoccurring injury. So I was really frustrated though with Nani in this. Like, twice she had the ball easily from Anissa, and just couldn't like get it inside the barrel. What was that? Like, is that when you were messaging us and saying like, oh my God?
I was like, this is too painful.
So painful. So painful. But in the end, like, Anissa's knee buckles and she can't have the ball, please. And then she doesn't end up getting to win. She falls down in pain, and Nani was.
But this is the thing. It did need to get in the barrel. I agree. Okay. Also, someone is saying here that like the producer said that they had to redo the final a couple days before because the original plan was too similar to the Challenge USA final.
That would have been a great final. I would have loved to see them complete that final.
And also, like, that final, the only issue of it being too similar was like that like the ending was not okay because they couldn't time out and all that we've discussed at length. So that would take a couple little edits here or there. Like, you took all these eliminations and these challenges from your other seasons you've been doing anyway. You're already repeating stuff. Like, the finals have been the most similar out of anything in the show. So, like, who cares? Like, that would have been better than what this was. This was your other idea a couple days before.
Yeah, your other idea got a lot of people hurt. So maybe you should have gone to like the well thought out idea that people quit, but at least this time people would actually finish it. And you could be like, look at our MTV competitors are far superior than the CBS ones because they have a little bit more grit and teeth or whatever. You know, that would have been interesting. I would have loved to see them do that final because
it would have been much better than this.
Like they started with a swim, right? That was like in that cold water, which would have been interesting to see everybody do that portion of it. What happened next? They would have had to do like the moving the dirt back and forth.
Eat the onions and garlic.
Rather than spaghetti, but like Tori could do that because it is vegan. So that would have been, I would have liked to see them actually do the Challenge USA final.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, I think the USA final, like obviously the final episode sucked for USA because of how it unfolded, but the actual final itself was, I thought, a pretty strong structure. So yeah, definitely would have preferred that over whatever this was, the 90 hours of waiting and 10 hours of final.
So I think this is completely different, Jorge, because like with Fessy, he's putting sand in his friend's eyes, and he chose to go down against his friend.
He chose. That's the difference. He chose. That's what was dirty about the situation, and then the throwing the sand. Nani did not choose to go into that elimination. Nani was also injured, and she's half the size of Anissa.
Anissa shouldn't have been playing with a hurt ankle. Like, so, like, she shouldn't have been playing. If her whole body wasn't free to be going in there, I just don't think it's fair for her to have to be particularly careful about the other person. They're not equally matched up. She wasn't fit to be able to compete if Nani isn't able to use whatever she could to get up on her. I don't think it's the same thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same. Honestly, I don't even mind that much what Fessy did against, like, obviously it was like a little scummy against Nelson, but I think with Nani it is completely different because the objective of balls in is like you have to stop them from getting into the roped out area, and the only way you're going to stop someone when you weigh that much less is to go low and get them to the ground. Like if Nani goes high on Anissa, Nani's going to end up like ass backwards. Yeah, so that's the only option you have. And you saw the same thing with Jordan and Bananas. Like they try to get each other on the ground, hold on to their legs, and keep them out of the rope. So I think it's like a different game. But to your point, like, I mean, yeah, like what Fessy did was like kind of scummy, but I don't really have much of a problem with it. I don't think he should have went in against Nelson, but
that's exactly. I didn't
once you're actually in there.
And the other scummy thing was when Rogan with Jay. I didn't think, like, I thought that was kind of like unbalanced. Like I thought that was gross as well. I think these
Rogan's
are all very
was way
different
worse.
situations.
Yeah, definitely. I think Rogan's was actually like malicious, and like Fessy's was maybe somewhat malicious, but more competitive. And then Nani was like, that's your only shot to beat Anissa. So if it was a normal balls in, I think Anissa would have for sure beat Nani because she wouldn't have had to chase her around the outside of the rope. But based on the rules, I mean, Nani did what she had to do there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactamente. So Jordan and Anissa hug it out, and she's apologizing to him, and he's like, don't worry about it. You're amazing. You're a champion. And like, I don't know. I was kind of done with their ride or die-manship. I was happy that they're done. Like they're moving on. The two of them were not going to be together anymore. So TJ does ask, how does it feel to be ride or dies? And then he has their support camp coming in. So now Olivia and Horacio are coming in, as well as Anissa and Jordan coming back in to cheer on the final 2 ride or die teams. What was this?
I thought there was going to be a purpose.
Like, help them out, like kind of like Top Chef, where you could like have your friends like.
You know what this felt like? This felt like the ending of Lost, where I spent so much energy and time and invested into something that progressively got worse as I got closer to the end. And then in the end, there was no purpose to so many things. And that's what annoys me. Like, I can get mad at a choice, but I'm going to be more mad if it seems like you didn't put enough thought into it. Like, I'm a dedicated watcher of your show. Put in some more effort. Why are they coming back in? Are they going to have a purpose? Do you get to pick people to help you for something, or like maybe like like I don't know, like have something interesting happen? I don't know. It was so random.
I think it's just to have more confessionals, because I think they're probably like, oh wait, we're not going to really have any footage. We have like only 2 teams that are doing anything right now. It's going to be pretty obvious who wins by the confessionals, so we need other people talking about.
And poor Olivia, like, having to come back with that busted face and have to be like, hi, here I am. Like, this just happened to me 2 days ago.
Johnny does say, though, what him and Nani have is thicker than blood. I mean, they do have an interesting relationship, from, like, enemies to, like, lovers to, like, exes to, like, friendly exes to friends, I think is their journey. There might have been some other different versions of their relationship throughout the years, but now they have 8 hours remaining before sleep. Like, what? Like, I'm like, I don't even understand like these times. So when did these people come out? The support? Oh no, sorry, this is sleep at camp. Okay, never mind. I thought it was said support at camp, and it was sleep at camp. So that whatever. They slept.
Oh.
Then the next day, 8 hours remaining. Then apparently it's the matchup that we've all been waiting for, and that's when the 3 teams come in, and then they only have 3 hours left. Okay, sorry, that's what happened. Sorry, guys, I confused myself, but with all this like disappearing time, it's confusing for all of us. So they're going to be playing Level Up, and I mean, essentially, I'd like this as a challenge, so either as a daily or even as an elimination. I think it was pretty cool having different phases, different stages. Yes, cool, but for a final, lackluster to me. To have see people in like a cylinder knocking down like blocks is not that interesting. And then there were things that we've seen before. So the first part of this was similar to what Nelson and Fessy did for their elimination challenge, and they had to bring out those like spears through the drywall and then put them in its position. Nani and Bananas were really good at this. They got an early lead, which it was really fun. And then they fell apart at the cinder block puzzle. What did Nani just freak out and not just like? I really felt that they were their own worst enemy at the cinder blocks, because the puzzle wasn't that hard. What Devin had is the optimum strategy, where you separate like things together so they don't get confusing and mixed up. That's how you do any puzzle. You put the borders together, you put the colors, like you do some sort of organizing of things, and then you start constructing methodically. And they just wouldn't do that. They just started yelling at each other. And I was like, is this how Nani throws away her final, by like actually just like getting
100%.
puzzles and throws it away? Because they did not need to fight here.
There was no need for the fighting at this point, and she was her own worst enemy, because Bananas, like, this is not his like specialty to figure out the strategy, as I said, and so he's gonna do the things, but like she needed to be the brain, and I think that like she got in her head too many, like right before that final, she was saying like that last day, she was like, I have so many emotions. Yeah, like there's too much going on when you're like so at that precipice, like the pressure, I think just like every time it's like too much. And I just wish she had taken a couple of deep breaths, and that is what lost it. And that's why the one takeaway that's positive that I take from Tori and Devin winning is that like they epitomized what is a ride or die, which is that they listened to each other and they communicated and they worked so well together, and they knew their place in that. And like Nani just didn't have that confidence, and like she doesn't have that confidence because she's never been able to pull out the win, and she saw it slipping away, and it was just like it was so painful. It was so painful to watch.
Matthew, do you agree or disagree? Nani will never win. She's not cut out for a final, even if it's easy. Ooh.
I do agree. I mean, like Michelle said, she's come in second a couple times. I think like at this point, like this was her best chance of winning. Now, I mean, she could end up on a season, say they do another Ride or Dies type theme, and
I heard
she's
next
with
season's supposed to be
Casey.
Ride or Die too. I don't know if that's just like a failed rumor, but
Yeah, so if that's the case and she's with a Casey, like I could see them doing well, but
no.
it's gonna be tough. Like at this point, like Nani, 2 of the last 3 seasons, she had a really decent shot of winning with Leroy. Now with Bananas, it didn't happen. She obviously had not won prior to that. So at this point, I mean, she's got to be mid 30s, I'd say. Let's say she plays another 5, 6, 7 seasons. It's going to be hard to win at this point. Like there's a lot of strong females, and if I mean Olivia and Nerys stick around, so we get back like a Jenny West and Amber, Michelle, like Natalie Anderson, like all these people that have popped up that could theoretically return are stronger than Nani realistically. Plus
and they
Casey
have the
herself
heart,
is
the
stronger
grit,
than Nani.
and they've won before.
Yeah. So I mean, if she can't win with Bananas, she can't win with Leroy. I
I
think
could
it's
see
gonna be
her.
tough. Like Cam is gonna come back.
Yeah, I could see her winning if it was like teams, not teams of 2. Like, you know, when it's like teams and people get cut off, like back in the old days, back when they had like infernos or whatever. I could see her winning a team, but I don't think they'll do that again. And then I could also see like if she would need to be with someone like Wes or CT who has that brain, because even though she was with a 7-time champ, like the best, what he lacks, she doesn't fulfill in the same way. Like, I feel like she needs to be with someone who's got that other side to them, and she can like you know what I mean? Like, in a way, I almost think she'd be better with Jordan as a partner. Almost like, I don't know. Like, I just think that like their partnership didn't work as well as the show made it seem. Like, they fought so many times. Like, their relationship's good. Like, they have a friendship, but like, I just don't think that it's good. It was in the cards for her to win. Like, I could see her, but like, she's never going to be in a situation where she's partnered with CT. Like, it's not going to happen. It's too random.
Yeah, I mean there's like, I don't think it's impossible that she could win. Like I'd say at this point, like 25% I'd give her. So I mean, her best chance of winning would have been last season, where if Casey let her win that elimination,
Yeah, she would have
and
ran
Nani
with
picked
CT.
CT.
Yeah.
But I still think she would have lost, to be honest. I think
Like
Kyle and Tori
messing
would have
up those
won that.
numbers to memorize at the end.
Well, I think like I'm pretty sure Kyle and Tori only lost by like a minute, and I think Casey is 1 minute better than Nani. So I think like just I don't know, like yeah, like she could luck into being partnered with a CT or a Jordan, but it would have to be a situation where your partner's changing during the final, because she's never going to be on like a Rivals or an X's with Jordan or CT. So it yeah, it's going to be tough, but I at 25%, I think like better than Anissa's percentage. So
Armin is right here. She did get 3 elimination wins this season, so that's good. Like maybe that will inspire her to do better. I'm really shocked though that I think she let this win fall at like
yeah. I truly think that if they had not fucked up that cinder block thing, they would have won. And obviously they fucked it up, so they didn't win. And like, you know, but yeah. I just think that like if they had done it right the first time and they had built it, like they were like Bananas was faster at tearing down the walls and and Nani would have felt that momentum like she did with the eating, and she would have dug. And I think that they could have easily taken it at that point. So it's extra. It just makes it extra disappointing that like they couldn't even. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I just don't understand as to why she just let herself get so frazzled. Like, if you're doing a puzzle with these heavy cinder blocks, make sure that you get the base right. Like, that's like kind of really important. And like, make sure that you know where the tops are and the side. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like the things that they messed up on were things that you should have made sure that you did not mess up on. Like, those were like those were the tricks. That was like what you had to.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I'm done.
I just had a thought, like, why isn't Nani on All Stars? Get her a win on All Stars, which might be easier for her to win. Gets her confidence, comes back to the regular season. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is she not on All Stars?
But it might be a slap in the face. Like, maybe, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe we'll see her on All Stars 5.
Because Laurel now is being on both. So many
Laurel's
of them
like, I don't care. Like, I'm back. Yeah. Like, give me some money.
Jordan did All Stars, is now on the main season. Like, I just feel like, why not? Why not?
So
I think Nani would have a shot in All Stars.
Pardon?
Yeah,
I think Nani could win All Stars. Although, like, looking at the cast of All Stars this season,
maybe not this season.
I don't know if she's gonna win that one.
No,
but yeah, like I think look last season when could Nani beat John A in a final? Like, I think maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be like a foregone conclusion that John A would win. So if you throw Nani in against who was it? John A and Janelle and Nani, like, yeah, why can't Nani win that?
I agree.
So their age difference is about 13 months, but like 2 years. So Casey's born in 87 in end of December, and Nani's born in 89 in end of January. So like 13 months age difference, but 2 kind of years. Which is also like older than John A. So, you know, I would allow her to go on to All Stars. Would you like Casey to go to All Stars?
Yeah, Kayla was on All Stars.
I know.
Kayla almost won All Stars.
I know. I would have been really irritated. And that's another thing, though. Like, it's not that we're speaking about All Stars, but Cam being on All Stars. Yes, I love Cam, but she's only, I think, 28, and she was never on Real World or Road World. So it's kind of like, oh, I don't know.
But she's obviously doing it because Leroy, I'm sure, was like, I'm not doing the main season. I'll do All Stars if we do it together.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's like, you'd think that it would be the opposite, that they would just be like, one stays home with the baby. But I guess if it's only 2 weeks.
Yeah, true.
Weeks, I don't know.
What about their baby?
So, yeah, basically, we kind of talked it through. Nani's and Bananas, they messed up the bottom of their cinder block puzzle, and then they fixed that. But then when they fixed that, they didn't take into consideration of all the pieces that they needed. So one of their top pieces ended up being in the middle somewhere in this mass of 200 cinder blocks, and they allowed for Devin and Tori to finish their puzzle and move on to the next stages. And they weren't even able to finish their puzzle because there was no point at this point. By the time it took them to tear everything down, build it back up, Tori and Devin were going to win. So yes, Tori and Devin are season 38 winners of the challenge. I will say definitely congratulations. It was definitely a well-deserved win. I like that it was a button. They won back. They were almost out the first episode. They won, and then they came back to win again in the end. I think that's like a kind of a nice journey, we'll say. And they did put in work. Like, Devin was trying to keep them. He was playing a very politically kind of behind the scenes, making deals with people, staying out of eliminations. So they did put in the work to get to the end and win. They definitely deserved it. I just wish I enjoyed the final more and it was like a little bit more gripping. Even if they were still going to be the winners, I would have liked to have a little bit more suspense. It just was like, flat. But congratulations to both of them. They won a lot of money. Now, what do we think about the fact that they gave $38,000 to each of the 2 Ride or Die teams that were watching them and cheering them on?
And also to Bananas and Nani, right?
And to Bananas and Nani, yes. Yeah. So in the end, they each got $38,000, and then that means that they're going to be taking home $386,000 a piece.
Yeah.
It's not a bad day.
No, I mean, it's obviously great for Devin and Tori, and I mean, it's super smart, and I'm guessing, I mean, part of the reason they're doing this is definitely to protect them for future seasons.
Mhm.
So that's the part that's annoying, where it's like, all right, why can't producers just say, hey, like, there's $1 million prize pot, second place gets this, third place
They
gets
used
this,
to do
whatever. Like,
that.
they used to do that. Yeah. And then last season, it's like, okay, CT and Casey were essentially forced to give money to the other finalists. Um, and then this season, it's like, okay, well, CT and Casey did it, so now we're gonna do it. And now it's like next
Haven't
season,
even
well,
said it. He's like, oh, I hope this is a new tradition. So I think he set that
yeah,
into place to like get to the final and you'll still get some money. I think it's
Mhm.
yeah, it's
subtle.
like the season was already too buddy buddy for me, and the fact that now like it's more buddy buddy at the end because producers won't just make second place and third place get X number of dollars. It's very smart from Devin and Tori to do this, but as a fan and for someone that wants to see this alliance get overthrown, it's
Mhm.
very frustrating for me because I just don't see a scenario where these people are going to turn on each other early next season. And now Horacio and Olivia, who
Or
were
not.
kind of they're my hope. They were my hope for next season. Now they owe these people something too. Um, so I mean, I don't know. Like looking ahead, like where do we go from here? Like who is going to be the person that stands up to
Yeah.
this alliance? And honestly, like you guys are going to hate this, but I think I'm putting my faith in Fessy to do it. I
He
think
won't.
he's gonna be he's the one that I have a slight bit of
He's
faith in doing it and going against them.
No, you know who will? Wes. Or like this is the thing. I just feel like I appreciate them giving the money. It's not about the money, really. Obviously, for Nani, it's about the win. But I agree with you because why would you not take people to the end who you know will at least give you something if you don't win? What this creates is a situation where, like, there's going to be less exciting gameplay throughout. I want to see the back in the day. Like, there's a reason that.
Sorry. Okay, let's get
Okay.
boo.
There's a reason that all those years ago, Sarah and Jordan decided to throw Bananas and Nani into that final elimination, securing Jenna and Jay's position in that final because they knew that was someone that was easier for them to beat. The gameplay should be okay for someone like Nani. Should be okay. I need to get to the end, and I need to have nobody who can win. Like I need to have as many rookies and as many small girls as I can in the end so I have the best chance of winning. Instead, she's always about her friends. She's always about loyalty. She's always about all that. Exactly. The greed is what makes it exciting. Like, I didn't like Banana's choice, but it was still exciting. And Ashley, I was all for that choice. Do it every time. Fuck Hunter. I rewatched that clip the other night. Amazing. Watching him cry was amazing. Like, let's see that. Like, we're not supposed to love everybody. That's not what the show is. This is not, I'm trying to think of an equivalent show where everybody loves each other, but I don't watch any shows like that. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah. So the problem is right now, like people like Ashley and Kara and Polly, like the people Turbo, like the people that would disrupt the power, they're either not being asked back for various reasons. I doubt we'll see Turbo anytime soon. But
Yeah.
Fancy.
so these people that are willing to make moves, if they do get invited back, the
Yeah.
other side of the house, like this vacation alliance and their friends, they're so they outnumber these people that are willing to make moves where you get Turbo in an elimination and the house can dictate the winner. So yeah, Turbo's willing to do it. Kara is willing to do it. But if Kara comes back, it's going to be Kara against 15 people
Everybody.
and they're going to take her out right away. So it's like the reason I say Fessy is the person I'm putting a little bit of faith in is because they're not necessarily going to go after Fessy immediately. But if Fessy realizes, hey, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, every time it comes down to the end, I'm being thrown into those last couple eliminations. It's like, instead of me just waiting for that to happen, why don't I say, like, hey, like, fuck Tori and Devin, like, you're going into the elimination. I'm not waiting for you to throw me in. I'm going to put you in episode 7 so you don't put me in episode 12. And it's like, if Fessy can realize that and he's not too influenced by like a Casey or a Nani, I think there is a chance for excitement. But I don't know. I'm worried. Like Jay and Michelle, someone said Jay and Michelle. I think Jay and Michelle, yeah, they could do it too. But the problem with Jay and Michelle is if they end up in the elimination against someone, I'm not as confident in a Jay beating a Jordan in an elimination or beating a Bananas
Yeah.
or a Devin or a CT. But Fessy could beat them and throw
Yeah.
them in.
But the thing about Fessy too is I agree with this, like he needs to be without his friends. And the thing is, there is the potential, but he wants to, he's so concerned about protecting himself from going into random eliminations that he wants to have his people and he wants to have allies who are strong so that they win power and help him out, right? Because like that makes sense for his strategy. I don't see him forgetting about that and being like, okay, I'm going to play the riskiest game possible because if it works, I have a guaranteed win at the end. If I can get all these people out, because like Wes has played such risky games, which is why I always love his gameplay. Mm-hmm. He's burned it up and gotten eliminated second, first, third, fourth. Like so many seasons he has failed, but he fails big. And when he wins big. You have to take those risks. And I wish Fessy would. If he did do that, it would change the game. I don't see him making that choice. Yeah. People play it safe, which I can't fault them. Like, I understand about wanting to play it safe, but like if you've been in many, many seasons and you know that you're probably going to get invited back, play a risky season. Just go off, put all the hardest people in at the very beginning, go hard, make enemies, be exciting. Like just be exciting.
Yeah, I guess another person I could see is like potentially Kyle. Like Kyle could be the person that's like willing to disrupt power, but Kyle's close with Devin. Devin does have some influence over him. Mm-hmm. Kyle's kind of close with Bananas. I don't think Kyle would hesitate to throw in like a Tori or an Anissa, but I think like some of the men that are kind of running the show, Kyle is a little bit more closely aligned to. Like Nelson and Corey maybe would do it. Really, it's like realistically, the people that would do it are Kara and Polly, but I just don't know if we're going to see them back.
Okay. Are you okay, Matthew? Please, these names that you're mentioning, I can't take all of them. I can't take Fessy. And then also Carmaria and Polly. Like, I just like, we're going to say Rogan next
and Turbo.
And Turbo. I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much. It is too much. I don't think I can handle that personally. But I'll take Kels and Priscilla. Okay, so I don't remember all of our MVPs, but do you guys have offhand our MVPs or anything like that? Because I added up on like who won. Like there wasn't that many fight points. Like I don't know how many you would want to give for Bananas and Nani. Who cares? But I know I added up like who actually just won, like the daily, and then we gave 10 points to the people that came back from elimination. And with that, and then adding the 50 points for winning the actual final, I do have a person that was way out front with the points this season. And the person who says they will never, ever win a draft has accrued the most points this season, basic points, with 120 points. Matthew has won, I believe, the draft. Michelle, with having the winners on her team, got 50 points, has got 85 points. So this is just with daily wins and with elimination wins.
Because Tori and Devin stopped winning dailies. Oh,
And then myself, I had 60 points in total. And I had, so my team was Johnny, Bananas and Nani, Turbo and Tamara. So they were out soon. Fessy and Mariah, they got me a few points. Kayla and Sam out first. Jarrell and Veronica out halfway through. So I got 60 points. Matthew had Amber and Chauncey, Nelson and Nerys, Jordan and Anissa, Horacio and Olivia, which was their points with having them come back.
So many eliminations.
10 points, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. And then Johnny and Raven. So they actually got you quite a few points there. Michelle, you had Laurel and Jack, Michelle and Jay, Devin and Tori, which are 50 points there. And they had one daily win, I believe. Casey and Kenny, snooze. Annalise and Tommy, snooze. So, yeah. I mean, we didn't bring in the MVPs, but I just don't even see that, that it's going to make a difference. I think that you probably would have had a lot of, I think Jordan was in there a couple times, or at least Nerys was in there for sure. Maybe even Nelson, Olivia, or Horacio, or both of them for sure. So I really
and like Nani
Horacio winning all those eliminations. I forgot I had Olivia and Horacio, so that's a pleasant
Congrats.
surprise.
So yes, you won the draft. You did.
So does that mean I get to pick the order for the next draft?
And whether we start male or female?
And that's for All-Stars or for Global?
Let's do All-Stars. Well,
Global starts March.
Global first.
I think we should do Global, meaning I need to do a little bit of research to just get my ducks in a row.
We'll do some research. And I'm going to send you a gift, Matthew, for winning this draft. What we had been doing in the past is like the two losers would give $50 to the winner, but I'm going to take it for us that I'm going to pay you for being the winner this season. So thank you for joining us doing these recaps and for joining the draft. So you're going to get a little nice bonus from me. So I'll need your email.
Yay! That's so. I literally was like, oh, I won. Like, I didn't even.
Yeah, I thought I had no shot.
I thought I stopped writing things down. But honestly, I will say, as far as the final is concerned, I guess TJ is my MVP because he brought the most energy. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I mean, obviously Devin and Tori, like, yeah, they did a great job, but I mean.
I mean, I should have had a decent, like I had Bananas and Nani, Turbo and Tamara. Like, I didn't think that they were going to go off the rails so badly in the beginning. I thought they potentially could have won some dailies, some challenges, some eliminations potentially, but the one elimination they were in, Olivia and Horacio got help from the audience and they got taken out like so early. Fessy and Baraya, they were like my best pick, kind of. Kayla and Sam out first. I thought that they would do better with Kayla doing so well on All-Stars. And then Darrell and Veronica, they were my last pick. So I was hoping that maybe they'd win like a puzzle or a trivia or something, but no.
Yeah, and I was saying to the two of you right before we hopped on, I don't think I could ever win a draft because I only take people that I like. And the people that keep going far are like the Vacation Alliance that I don't like at all. So I'm never going to take them. I guess I did have Anissa and Jordan, but I think they were fairly late as well. But I am very happy because I took the people I loved and I still somehow won. So
yes, ignore what I said. I guess that is the way to victory sometimes. Just like go with your gut, go with your faves, and see what happens.
I mean, that definitely was a lucky pick. We knew who Olivia was a little bit from Love Island, but we had no idea who Horacio was. And so, yeah, that was a pick from the heart for sure. That ended up being like, that was the winning pick for sure. I would say they are the season's MVP in total. So if we gave some points for the season-long MVP, you would have gotten those points as well, Matthew. Is there anybody else that would be in contention other than TJ for the MPV of the season?
I think Devin and Tori had a really
MVP. I just said MPV. MVP.
I would say Devin and Tori, and Olivia for showing face with that face.
And Nerys, I think Nerys went a few weeks earlier, so she wasn't there for the end game. But yeah, well, I actually did. I do remember in our draft when we were talking about Olivia and Horacio. I'm like, hey, I swear this guy Horacio, like he was on some sort of ninja game, and and I was kind of digging him, and I remember there was some confusion about whether it was Horacio or someone else on the cast,
or Kim.
Yeah, or if it was Kim, and I was like, no, I think it's Horacio. So I kind of want this dude. Plus, I do know Olivia, and like she's good for the hookup points. So I will take some credit and not like being not having it be a complete fluke. I did have a suspicion.
You're a savant, says Fanta. Well, that's pretty much it for the season. Do you guys have any final thoughts that we finally wrapped it up? Do we want to talk about the reunion? Come back in a couple weeks and just have a little button or something?
We could do maybe a brief reunion / when we do our draft, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do a reunion update before the draft.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about watching this reunion. I just feel like it's going to be hard to watch, or I find it cringe sometimes, which I understand is appealing to some people. But also the fact that Bananas and Mariah were together then, but they're not together anymore. So
fair, but
are they not together?
When they're on, they broke up.
They broke up.
When they were on the reunion, they were together. So
exactly. I don't love that it's already changed, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's I want it to be where they're at now, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that people are nice to my girl Amber. I don't want her being attacked at the reunion, especially knowing that she's pregnant now. Just don't come for Amber. Be nice to her, be nice to Michelle, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Steven, this is not true. He's not the MVP. Oh man. He lost me the other draft too that I'm doing. Kenny and Casey. They got me the least amount of points of almost everybody first. So do you agree with Steven here? Cancel the main show and just give us a 90-minute All-Stars episode.
Yeah.
I think just
well,
it seems so easy, but just make the real show better. Just cast better.
It seems easier.
It's it seems easy. It's just hey, there's all these people that are dying to be on the show. Just put a good fucking cast together and everyone's gonna be happy. Make it go back to basics, last place in daily, just go into elimination. It will help break up these alliances because you can't just protect everyone. So make these little changes and go back to basics, and the real show can be great. I thought the first 8 to 10 weeks was really strong this season.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so this is official or this was a rumor? I thought they were trolling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I wanted to ask about that because she posted about it and they're holding hands and all these clips and she's with him all the time. But just the other week on the podcast with Bananas, she was saying how she sees him as a brother. So I was I don't know. Are they together? Are they or are they not? They're just trolling us? Okay.
I didn't see was there scenes that went up about the reunion? I
haven't seen them yet, no.
Yeah, I didn't see they did scenes for next week or anything.
Matthew, you better check Anissa because she's going to be going after Amber.
Ugh, it makes me so sad. Leave Amber alone.
Just leave her alone, please.
Leave
Amber.
Well,
thank you both of you for being with me on this journey for the challenge season 38, and everybody in the chat who show up every week just to chat about this season and complain and rant with us. As much as we complain and rant, we love the show. It's literally my favorite show. I'm always excited about everything that goes on with it, even if I'm annoyed with some things that happen. So don't take me being ever ranting about things for me disliking the show. I love it. It's my favorite. I will always love it. I will always watch it, and I will do my best to always cover it when I can. So thank you both so much for being here with me on this journey for this season. Final thoughts, final words before we close out till our draft.
I'm excited for All-Stars and for Global. Let's hope for some excitement. And Danny in the trailer.
Danny in the trailer. Good. Let's do it.
I'm super excited for Danny, and I'm super excited. I mean, the cast looks really strong for Global. So, I mean, we're getting Theo back. It's going to be a really fun time, and I hope it's with a shorter season. It doesn't get stale. This season, it got a little bit of a snooze fest as it got towards the end and middle to end game. But with a 10 to 12 episode Global series, I think we're going to be in for a nice couple months.
I agree.
Yes, I'm excited too. Well, thanks again. Thanks everybody in the chat. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video. There's 42 of you in here right now. So can we get at least 42 likes? That would be super awesome. And leave a comment. What should the stakes be for our next draft? Maybe. And what else do we want to know? And who do you want to win next season, or who do you think should have won, or what do you think they should do to fix the main season? I don't know. Just give us your thoughts. Let's just keep chatting, keep talking, and until we do our next draft, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Bye.